A couple of months ago, I asked the members of the English Pro Tips Facebook group to describe their biggest challenge related to IELTS. Now, one of the most common problems was how to finish both Task 1 and Task 2 within 1 hour. So in today's lesson, we're going to be looking at 6 tips for how to manage your time in the IELTS writing test. Let's begin. Tip number 1 is to read Task 2 first, so the essay question, and then start writing Task 1. If you read Task 2 first, your mind will begin to subconsciously think of ideas for your essay while you are writing the first task. So in this way, when you finish Task 1, you'll already have some ideas for what you're going to write in Task 2. Tip number 2 is, don't write a plan. You don't have enough time to write a plan for Task 1 or Task 2 in the actual test. Instead, you should have a clear idea of how you will answer each question type before you go to do the IELTS test. So, for example, in Task 2, the most common question types are agree, disagree essays, then advantage, disadvantage essays, then discussion essays, and sometimes there are double questions like problem and solution essays, or even a direct question. Now, you need to have a clear structure in your mind for answering all of these different essay types so that when you see the essay question, you can get down to writing your answer as soon as possible. If you want to learn about the different essay types and learn some useful essay structures for Task 2, check out my IELTS writing course. I'll put a link to that below. Tip number 3 is to experiment with different timings. So as you'll know, you have 1 hour for Task 1 and Task 2. Now, Cambridge recommends that you spend 20 minutes on Task 1 and 40 minutes on Task 2. However, this might not work for you. Instead, you should experiment with spending different amounts of time to see what works best for you. For the academic IELTS, I personally recommend that you try spending 25 minutes on Task 1 and 30 minutes on Task 2, which gives you 5 minutes to check your writing at the end. Tip 4 is to do the computer-based IELTS test. Most of us can type much faster than we can write by hand, so see if you can do the computer-based IELTS test in your local IELTS test centre. Tip 5 is not to write too many ideas for Task 2. Most of the time you only need to write between 2 to 4 ideas per essay, depending on the kind of structure you write. So don't write lots and lots of ideas in your essay. Instead, focus on 2 to 4 main ideas and make sure that they are fully developed, and ideally include an example as well. Tip 6 is to do lots of practice. IELTS essays are usually quite similar. There are only 4 main essay question types, and there are certain topics that appear again and again. The main topics are the environment, particularly how to look after the environment, geography, especially buildings, cities and transport, education, which includes skills and learning, work and the economy, and people, which includes health and happiness. Now, if you practice with the questions in the Cambridge IELTS book, you'll often find that you'll get similar essay questions in your real test. So by doing lots of practice, you are giving yourself time to develop your ideas on many of the common topics that you'll be asked about. Now, if you're planning on doing the IELTS test soon, then consider becoming a member of EnglishProTips.com and you'll have access to lots of different model essays with quizzes and useful topic-specific vocabulary for all the common topics that appear in IELTS. Right, let me know if you found these tips useful and if you have any other tips for improving your time management in the IELTS writing test. Good luck with all of your studies and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye then.